what's good? It's your boy Wings that Take Flight. We down here, southeast of Melbourne, with the one and only Fat Judah, my brother. How you doing today, man?
Yeah, good, bro. Just fucking kicking it in that.
Bro, thanks for having me through the areas. I appreciate you inviting us down here, man. Bro, you've been doing a lot lately. Here, Melbourne, Sydney. You just gone out to Wellington and Auckland. We'll talk about that. Take us back to the start, man. Look, last time I was down here, you took me on a runway of everything you've been through, and I just think this story needed to get out there, needed to be heard. I appreciate you having us through to do just that, bro. So take us back to the start. Judah, man, where'd it come from?
Man, fucking, where did Judah come from, bro? I guess I was just young, bro, you know, fucking, like 15, 16, fucking just, you know, doing that usual shit and stuff, bro. And like, I was just bored, bro, you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I was just playing tennis, fucking doing this, doing that, and then fucking, I met these cunts, bro, that just told me about, like, a lot of shit, and like, fucking, I just hang out with these cunts, and then I got into skating and fucking everything like that, and then, like, these cunts were teaching me how to rack, how to paint, how to do a bunch of shit, you know? They taught me the streets, and then, like, from there, I was like, fuck, this is pretty hectic, you know? And then, like, just the shit that, like, made me listen to, I was listening to, like, Nate Dogg, Warren G, and fucking everything like that, you know what I mean? So, like, fucking, that shit kind of, like, twisted my mind in a good way where it was like, yeah, this is G shit, you know what I mean?
For sure.
So then like fucking, you know, long story short, they put me into this artist named Chronics, blah, blah, blah. And like, I'd always hear this thing, Lion of Judah, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fuck, what is that? And I was just a curious cunt when I was like young. So I always just asked cunts like, what is this? What is that? Blah, blah, blah. And then fucking, they told me about this story of like the Lion of Judah and shit. And then from there I was like, fuck, that's dope, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, bro, like fucking all my homies and shit were just rappers and fucking just going on tour and shit. Like, I think it was 90s RD. And that was like Barrow, fucking Nasty Mars.
Bro, they used to put on an energetic
You know
show,
what I mean?
man. Yeah, the boys were crazy back then, man. Before shit popped off here
Exactly,
too.
bro. So like, I was always the young cunt in the group, like just always hanging out with the older cunts and shit. And I was like, fucking, I was jealous, bro. I was like, fuck, I can't rap for shit. Like, if someone put a gun to my head and told me to spit like a freestyle or bars or whatever, I'd fucking die in a heartbeat, bro.
So we're not doing a freestyle session after this?
Fuck no, bro. You know what I mean? I'll try, but fucking, bro, I don't think it's gonna be good, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, they fucking going on tour, and I was just like, fuck, I want to go on tour. But I could never do anything, so like, I've always been intrigued with like fucking streetwear like that. Like they fucking, I saw the whole Tyler the Creator shit, the Odd Future shit when they're coming up. Blah, blah, blah.
Cult
then,
shit, bro.
You know what I mean? Like seeing how they did their pop-up stores and everywhere else, I was like, fuck, this is so dope. And that like grew my hunger to like start something, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So like from there, like I remember sitting at Narrowburn Skate Park with Nasty Mars and I was like, yo, like, I'm some real shit, but I can't rap. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
what can I do to be involved? I'm trying to get out here, man.
I want to be on tour and shit. They're like, bro, why don't you design clothes? I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to design clothes, bro. Da, da, da.
Did you draw or anything back in the day?
Yeah, bro, like fucking in high school and shit, like I fucking used to hand draw these stickers and shit, cause like, I went to Dandenong High, I went to Cranbourne High, blah, 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 and fucking, I was just broke, bro. Like, all these kids always used to have, like, lunch money and shit. And I was a jealous cunt, bro. And I'd made friends with the canteen lady and shit, being the fat cunt I am, you know? Like, fucking try to get, like, cookies and chocolate milk and shit in the morning, blah, blah, blah.
Fat Judah, bro.
You know what I mean? And then, like, fucking, bro, like, realistically, like, I used to stand, like, this is the canteen entrance and that's the canteen exit. And I'll just stand there with these hand-drawn stickers I'd get from, like, fucking Office Works, like, I think, adhesive paper. And then I'll put, like, get Posca paint pens, draw these characters on it, and then from like there, like, I'd stand there and kind of press cunts to buy the stickers when they walked out of the fucking canteen. I'd be like, yo, buy a sticker for $2, and cunts didn't even take the sticker, they just gave me like $2, $5, you know what I mean?
So you're hustling from young, let's be serious,
I mean, like, bro,
you didn't logically need the sticker, you just needed your size at this point.
I just needed money, I needed something to sell, bro, so I fucking sold this shit, I'd make like $30, $40 a week, and then when you're in high school, bro, getting $30, $40, you're like, fuck, this is hectic,
yeah,
bro.
100%.
You know,
bro, when I was in high school, man, if someone bought me a beef burger just once a year, I was pumped.
You know what I
mean,
mean,
Let alone $40 a day, come on.
So then, like, fucking, you'd go fucking to the, like, Dandenong Plaza or whatever after school. You and all the homies would go get fucking cheeseburgers from Macca's. You'd be balling, bro. You'd be like, yeah.
Let's get it.
We're eating, you know what I mean? And then,
boys.
like, from there, bro, like, fucking, I started hanging out with, like, my Timorese homies and shit, which are, like, my OGs. They put me onto, like, streetwear and shit. And, like, every fucking Christmas, my birthday, I'd save up all my money. And, like, I would go to the Shore Store Boxing Day sale, and they'd have, like, 3 tees for $50. And or whatever, like just like the fucking boxes just full of bins or clothes, whatever.
100%, you get to choose whatever you want. Cheap prices,
Exactly,
bro.
you
Cheap
know what I mean?
prices.
So like we'd go there, we'd line up all morning, I'd sleep at their house the night before, we'd go like 5 a.m, get there at like 7 a.m. and line up till it's open. And that was a part of like the funness of the culture, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like they would sell brands like Rebel 8, 10 Deep, fucking Mighty Healthy. I think Butter Goods was maybe in there or some shit, Half, blah, blah, blah. And like me and my homie would just go in there, try to rack as much as we could and would fucking buy as much as we could. And then just leave and then, you know what I mean? Like fucking after Boxing Day sales are done, it started to click to me like, bro, I could make money off this, like low key, da da da. So then I'd hold all this shit with the tags and everything on there and just like wait like 2 months, 3 months down the line and I'd resell that shit just under market price. So like, let's say for example, recommended retail price for a tee is like $50, $60. I'd sell it like $35 with
Where were you
brand new
selling
tags.
at the time? Just like face to face?
Face to face and fucking walking around with duffel bags. I'd go on Facebook and message cunts like I was that little kid, bro, just messaging every single cunt on Facebook like, yo, you trying to cop some new tees?
So, yeah, see, back when I was a bit younger, bro, people were trying to hustle fake snapbacks. So you at least had the quality shit too.
Nah, I even hustled fake
there we
snapbacks
go.
and shit. Like I'd buy like fucking $20 ones and sell them for 50 and convince like, you know the NBA snapbacks and like the
100%.
YMCMB shit? I'd convince cunts this shit was legit.
Hectic,
Like I always
hectic.
just convinced cunts and then I'd like sell them for like 30, 40, $50 depending on who the cunt was, you know? So I'd make money like that and then like I was like, fuck, like bro, like I'm making money, da da da. And then yeah, bro, like fucking we'd sell it 3 months down the line, make a little bit of money and then repeat the whole cycle, keep going. And then like I think, yeah, back to the story, I was at Narry Skate Park and I was like, yo, I really want to like do something but I can't rap, I want to come and tour. And then the homie was like, bro, you should just make clothes. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I should.
Smart idea, yeah.
So then like I remember my first ever t-shirt, I think it was like that during the Odd Future thing, El Sweatshirt released like this fucking logo of his face, whatever. And it was like big ears, big lips, and it was just like a collage of everyone's face. And I made a t-shirt like that and I went to Officeworks and I got the t-shirt iron on and I just printed it out, cut it out, and ironed it on the t-shirt. And I just thought I was the most hectic cunt, bro. I was like, fuck, bro. I just made my first t-shirt, da da da. And then I met this graphic designer who was like very corporate designer, like fucking designing like corporate logos. And he was at my boxing gym and then like he was like, yeah, I'll design your logo. And I remember I had like this line with like dreads and had dreads everywhere because I used to have dreads as well. So I was like really into that whole shenanigans, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So then fucking I printed that t-shirt and someone offered me like $30 for the tee. Then I was like, fuck.
But the money already.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, bro, like da da da. And then my homie's like, yeah, you should fucking make a brand. I'm like, I had 3 brand names in mind and like I always try to start a brand when I was skating and shit. I had like Valentina Express or whatever. I had this sticker brand called Gooners and that was this hand-drawn stickers and I'll call it Gooners, you know. There was like a little posse that we skated at Hampton Park skate park with everyone and shit, blah blah blah. And then like yeah, we sat there at Narry skate park and I was like, Babylon, Judah, or Dead Youth. And then Babylon.
Oh, the 3?
Yeah. And then my homie's like, Babylon's already a thing, bro. I'm like, bullshit. And then I searched it online, it was Babylon LA.
Okay. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was
yeah,
like, fuck, that's a dope name, you know what I mean? But then like, it turns out they're the homies now, you know what I mean? But fucking then it was Judah or Dead Youth and like, Dead Youth sounds so e-boy now, but like back in the day, I reckon that was some hard shit, you know?
100%.
But then my homie's like, nah, Judah rings the bell, bro, da da da. And then like fucking being a big fan of like Stussy Tribe from the 90s and shit, blah blah blah.
Threw the tribe onto it.
You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, Judah Tribe, da da da. And I was like, fuck, this is the hardest shit. So I just kept running it, and then I started like, I went to like the local lady that lived in like Berwick out of her house, and I'd buy these fucking Oswear t-shirts from her or whatever, and I'd fucking get like a dodgy ass embroidery, and the embroidery would be crooked and thin. And I just,
But it said Judah, that was
yeah,
it?
you know what
Simple?
I mean? Exactly, just
Simple,
Judah, the
alright.
simple text right there. And I ran that for ages, and I remember like, I think my first ever order, I ordered 9 t-shirts. And I remember I folded them so nice on the floor, and I looked at my floor and shit, I was like, yo, this is the hardest shit, you know?
Tell me you still got photos of that shit back in the day, man.
I do, bro.
That's
And like
OG,
when I
yeah.
first ever fucking started my my Instagram, I think I had 29 followers, whatever. And I had the Judah logo, my homie at Fast Times. Like I used to be that little kid that walked in just talking to all the OGs, you know?
Yeah.
And my homie Connor May fucking helped me design the original logo. You know what I mean? And cause he ran this other brand called AMFM or some shit. And he's just always like been in that brand mindset, you know what I mean? And like I was just like, yo, can you help me? And he did it. Because my first original design was on Microsoft Word. You know what I mean? But then
Who the hell designs a Microsoft Word?
Exactly, bro, you know what I mean?
Do you remember the font name?
Roman,
Oh,
Roman.
standard Times Roman. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
that shit.
OG,
You know what I mean?
OG. All
And then
right.
he made his own version of it, blah, 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 and then made it into like a vectorized PNG for me, blah, 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 and I knew nothing about that shit. And he gave it to me, and then I sent that to the lady, and she made all that shit. I remember shooting a lookbook at Berwick Coles, at the Coles in the back, and it was just homies, and I think I shot it on my iPhone or like just like a camera, but we didn't know anything about anything. We thought it was like the hardest shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then yeah, bro, like started just walking around with duffel bags, forcing cunts to buy my shit. I'd message, maybe I have 150 friends on Facebook. I'd message 150 people, yo, you trying to buy some shit? And this is like me at 15 or 16, 17, some shit like that, you know?
So Judah started from back then.
Yeah, bro, I've been like 16 years old. I think that's when it officially started properly, and then I got it registered like 2018 or some shit. But
yeah.
like, I walked around for yonks, bro, just forcing cunts to be. I'd be like, yo, you trying to buy 2 tees for 40 bucks, da da da, and they'll be like, oh, I'm like, come on, bro, like, what are you doing, cunt? You know what I mean? Like forcing cunts, bro. And then like I'd go at the skate park, force cunts to buy it, and then people just support me, you know, because I was that kid.
Local dude just trying to make it
Yeah,
work,
I mean,
bro.
I was
Yeah,
that kid that was just everywhere, hanging out with all the fucking older cunts, da da da, and like cunts would just say, yeah, fuck it, whatever. And then yeah, bro, like fucking around 17, 18, like fucking just started traveling.
Yeah, I was gonna say you mentioned before you went overseas for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, bro.
How much inspiration did you take from back then? Because I was young, man.
Yeah.
And you traveled by yourself at this time?
Yeah, I was like 17 when I graduated high school. I told my mom I'm gonna go stay in Hollywood, but like I've always been a fan of like FTP and all them kinds of that whole scene, you know. I thought that shit was the most dopest shit. So then like fucking ended up becoming friends with fucking FTP's brother over GTA Online, blah blah blah. It was so random. And we'd like stay in contact like every day, like he became a close homie of mine, and then like I was just like, yo, I just graduated high school, I'm trying to come to America, can I stay at yours? And he was like, yeah, for sure, got you, da da da. And I
So
didn't
this
know.
is straight through Insta messages or something?
Yeah, bro, like
Yeah.
I didn't know the cunt face to face, never met him, blah blah blah. But
What were
we
your
became.
parents thinking? Sorry.
I didn't tell them that.
Oh, okay. They were just like, you're going over there to travel.
I told them that I had good friends over there. I met
Okay.
them heaps of times, blah blah blah. And I told them I was staying in Hollywood. Ended up staying in Crenshaw, fucking for like a couple months or whatever. And then from there, bro, like fucking just met a bunch of cunts. Met this cunt, met that cunt, met that cunt. And I remember like the first ever day I landed in Los Angeles, I got pressed, bro, and I was like, holy fuck, like this is scary. I don't have family here, I don't know anyone over here, blah blah blah. I'm staying in the hood. I told everyone like fucking, you know what I mean? I told my mom I'm staying in Hollywood in the nice area, blah blah blah.
What was
and,
the
like,
reason they're pulling you up? Do you remember?
you know in Australia when you're walking and cunts just look at you like, hey, what's up, G? You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
Some cunt was looking at me and I'm 17, I don't know any politics, no nothing like that overseas and shit. So I look at him like, hey, what's up, bro? And then, hey, what's up, young bro? What's up, young bro?
Right. He took it a different way real quick,
He started
yeah.
pressing me and then he lifted up his shirt and he had a fucking big ass knife. And I was like, yo, bro, I'm not from here, bro. I'm from Australia, bro. Fucking that. He's like, all right, keep it moving, little bitch ass motherfucker. And I was like, fucking hell, bro.
So I put you in your spot real quick.
100%, bro. And I was like walking downtown and I was like, what the fuck just happened, bro? So then like, just walked around and I met like this OG of mine. His name's Snobs and he's the one that kind of like fucking put shit in my head, bro. Like taught me knowledge and shit, blah, blah, blah. And like taught me the game. And like, I remember the first time I walked into the shop, it was called Utmost, and I became real good friends with the owners, Tom and Jermaine. They really looked out for me and shit. And like, I remember the first time I walked in there, there's just fucking 2 dudes that skate or whatever, just sitting there playing chess. And I was thinking, what the fuck? This is dope, you know what I mean? So I went there literally every single day, smoked so much weed with them, and they just like put me on, and I just sat, they had like a store, and then it went downstairs into like a little fucking stock room, whatever, and I kicked it there every day.
So you're just there to learn at this point?
Yeah, bro,
Just
like
there to
fucking
learn,
17,
taking
I was just
game,
like,
taking game.
I was like a fucking blank canvas, bro, just like, you know, getting painted on and shit, just taking in all this information, all this fucking, you know what I mean, like visuals and shit of like what this is like, what's that like. And I'll just sit there and just observe and fucking take in a lot of shit, you know, like I've always been that cunt just to sit there and just be like, you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
sit there
100%,
quietly and
taking
shit.
everything. And look, if you're in that environment that a lot of people wouldn't get to experience here, bro.
Yeah, bro.
This is could be a once in a lifetime chance to take in knowledge that you could either use there or bring back,
You know
which
what I
you've
mean?
obviously brought back
Exactly,
here.
bro. So it's like, bro, I literally just sat there and just sat there quietly like this and just observed and shit and just be fucking blazed out of my mind, just taking notes on my phone like, all right, that's how they design, blah, 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 cool. Da, da, da. All right, that's how they do it. All right, cool. You know what I mean? And then I ask heaps of questions, they just put me on and then like, yeah.
How long were you posted over there for?
I think like 2-3 months maybe.
Okay, yeah.
And then like fucking came back and then I learned so much shit. I was so excited. da-da-da, and then like I just put that shit into like work, bro, and then like fucking started doing more graphics and shit. Fucking they taught me how to graphic design properly. And I still don't even know to this day how to graphic design properly, but I still just try to force it, you know?
Do you do most of your own stuff, or you get other people in to help out with the
Yeah,
design?
I do a lot of my graphics and I do all my cut and sew, but as of recently, I've got like, started commissioning cunts to do more shit because I don't have that much time to do shit anymore, but like, still try to stay involved with everything, blah, 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 you know what I mean, throughout the whole process, because it's like, it's kind of hard to let go of that, you know what I mean? Like,
100%. You mentioned before about wanting to know each and every part, man.
yeah, bro.
Each and every part.
You need to
And
know.
I guess to perfect the business as a whole, you need to.
Exactly, bro. And it's fucking hard because it's like, bro, like, there's like two sides of business. There's like the creative side and then the business side. So when you're trying to do the creative side, you're not really thinking about the business side, but then you're trying not to think about the business side, but at the end of the day, you got fucking bills, you got da-da-da, but you're not trying to make a move without selling, you know, you're not trying to sell out and make a move, you know what I mean? So it's like...
Do you feel you excel at one side better than the other?
Yeah, like, as of recently, it's probably been more business moves and shit, like, just proper, you know what I mean? Like, making sure shit gets done properly and, like, in the correct way in my head, where I'm not selling out or doing no fucking corny shit, because it's like, I've had a creative block, whatever, but that's because I'm in this mindset. But then when I'm in this mindset, I don't think about that mindset. So it's like, I find it hard to be in both realms, you know what I mean? But it's like, once you're in like that realm, you're fucking busting. I can design for days, bro. You can fucking design a whole year and design everything for everyone like in like a couple hours, bro, or a couple days, you know what I mean? But then fucking, you get a creative block and now you're in this realm, you just like, can't even think. That's what like, as of recently, I started doing more commissions with constant shit, you know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, like, I don't really have time to sit there and fucking just get depressed where I can't design, you know what I mean?
Without
like,
a doubt, bro.
It's like, fuck. But
at what point when you came back did you really see Judah growing, bro? Because at that time, again, it was still small, right?
Yeah.
So what did you do to push it even further? Like, what was your ways of getting the name out there?
Bro, like, you know how cunts do the follow and unfollow shit?
100%.
When I was like 17, bro, I'd fucking spam everyone, da-da-da.
So it worked?
Yeah, bro, like, fucking got me a couple thousand followers, and then after a point, it just started looking corny, so I was like, bro, fuck that. You know what I mean? This shit is whack, I'm not doing it anymore, so I stopped. And then, like, I think, like, my first ever time where I actually thought, fuck, I'm doing it properly, is when I met, like, this other OG from Melbourne. His name's Vinny Tang, and I met him, I think, a Sneaker Freaker or some shit. And he kind of just like, he was like, yo, bro, seeing what you're doing, da-da-da, would love to fucking give you some shoes. And Converse, he got me the Converse plug. And they would send me shoes. And when I started getting free shoes from Converse, I was like, fuck, bro, like, I've never had free shit in my life.
We made it, bro. We made it.
I'm like 17, bro.
Yeah,
at this point, I was like,
100%.
bro, fuck, I just did, you know what I mean? I did a photo shoot, Converse gave me shoes, blah, blah, blah. And then, yeah, bro, I just kept developing from there. Then I worked with Asics for a short time period.
At like work for their company kind of thing?
No.
Oh.
They'd send me free shit and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, hell
you know
yeah.
what I mean? And like, fuck it, they'd be down there cool and shit. And then, yeah, bro, like from there, like fucking just started making more connections, blah, blah, blah.
At what point did you start like, you know, the whole cut and sew thing? Because before you buying blanks.
Yeah, I was
you know
buying
what I mean?
shit.
So at what point were you like, shit, man, I got to up my quality game here. I got to fucking put in some work.
I think when, bro, like, I was working at Fast Times and shit, I see all these other brands and like they're doing like hectic ass denim, blah, blah, blah. And I'd go to the States and see all these other brands doing all this cool cut and sew shit. And I'd be like, I'm a competitive cunt. I'm a petty competitive cunt, you know what I mean?
Bro, it's built into us.
Yeah, bro, and I was just like, what the fuck, like, bro, like, how the fuck are they making all this denim shit? Like, how are they making all this tracksuit shit? And I don't know shit about it. I don't know nothing. So then I think when we went into COVID, I kind of had an idea, but not really. And I've done a couple of cut and sew shit. Even when I first ever started the brand, I found a Pakistan plug and I did this camo fucking tracksuit. And it was the shittest materials, the shittest everything. They did sublimation. I didn't even know what the fuck sublimation was. I just said yes to it. I was a yes man, you know?
That's the crazy thing. So, like, from personal experience, I tried to make a few shirts one time.
Yeah.
Bro, communicating with these people overseas, if you don't know what you're talking about,
bro, it's fucked.
Bro, they could send you a like, who knows what.
Bro, it was so fucked. And I didn't even get a sample or anything. I just said, yep, let's do it.
They send you a bag full of stuff and it was
Fucking
crap.
the shit is quality, but I still thought I sold it. In that time period, I thought that shit was like busted down. I thought that shit was like fucking God. You know what I mean? But like, it wasn't. Like,
when you look back, you're like,
but
that's it. It's all steps, bro. It's all
it's progress.
progress.
It's part of growth
Come on.
and shit, you know? But then I saw that shit and I was like, fuck. But then, yeah, I kind of had an idea, I guess, and then fucking working at Fast Times, kept going overseas, asking questions and blah, blah, blah. And the next thing you know, we go into COVID. And we started getting the fucking money and shit, you know what I mean?
Ah, COVID payments. Shout out to those, man.
So then we started racking up heaps of money and I said I worked here, but then I was working at, because I still was working at Fast Times, I think.
Yeah.
and I don't care if you guys hear this, whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I was milking that money from the gov, whatever, and getting that shit. I was getting the payments, and I was like, fuck, I'm getting so much money. Da da da.
Right, trust. It wasn't just you. I know old ladies who work a 1 day a week getting paid,
You know
like,
what I mean?
you know, full week's bags.
Yeah, bro.
Everyone was doing it. It's the government's fault at this point. Let's be
Bro,
dead serious.
and I was getting money and shit, so I was like, fuck, I can use this money to fucking just keep buying shit, or I can try and learn how to make cut and sew shit, and people that are getting the money can, you know what I mean?
So it wasn't until the COVID period, so let's say last 2 years, where you really buckled down to it.
The cut and sew, yeah, because like, bro, think about it. Like, I've always been funded. I've never had no investments. I've been offered investments, and I just turned down everything because I don't really like that shit. But like, all that shit kept coming to me, blah blah blah, and I was like, nah. So I've always been self-funded, no matter what.
Heck.
Never borrowed money from anyone. It's just always been off, you know what I mean? My own fucking hustle.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So like, fucking from there, I just had a bunch of money, but like, I wasn't trying to spend my money, my hard-earned cash. So I was getting all this free money from fucking the govy. So I was like, fuck it, how can I use this money to try and level up, whatever? So I just started ordering samples for days, and then just like go on YouTube fucking rabbit holes and like, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? How do you do that? Blah blah blah. And then like eventually, even my first ever cut and sew collection was dumbass, bro. I fucking did like, I think 1,000. This is when I had like maybe 12,000 followers or whatever. I don't even know how much I had, but not that much of a big community, blah blah blah, with me and shit. Like, not really fucking influenced a lot of people. Still very early days of the brand, and I just fucking ordered 1,400 pieces of like 4 different colorways of the denim. You know, the all over print, red denim, green
Hell
denim.
yeah. 1,400.
Yeah, bro, I got like 2 whole pallets. And
There's
like,
an investment and a half. Bro.
yeah, bro, fucking Dan from StreetX put me on and like told me about it, logistics and everything. Put me on, and I got that shit sea freighted. I was so excited. I remember I had my videographer come down as well that same day. The thing was arriving, and it was so excited to see like fucking like a truck pull up in front of my house and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but 100%.
And, like, it's
Most
just-
people are getting small little AS color boxes.
You know what I mean?
You're pulling out here with 2 pallets.
2 pallets, bro, and like fucking palletized and glider wrapped and everything. And a truck pulls up, and I remember just like moving all my cars out of the garage, and I was so excited, bro. I was like, fuck, bro, my first ever, you know what I mean? So then I remember putting it in the garage, filmed a little video with it, took a photo, blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah. And then I remember at my house, that's why I even got the warehouse like now, because it's like, bro, like,
When did this come about? So you're working out of your parents' house, your
yeah,
own
my
house?
parents'
Parents'
crib, bro,
house.
and it was kind of fucked. Like, boxes are everywhere, shoes are everywhere. Like, the house wasn't even a house, bro.
So at what point did you move into this crib? Because you got a bit of everything going on. Look, you got a little photo studio behind, you got the
Yeah.
warehouse at the back, the office here,
Yeah, bro.
chill area here, the studio at the front.
Yeah, bro.
Like, this
fucking-
is a spot and a half, man.
I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, bro. And like, I was just like, man, I can't keep doing this. At the end of the day, bro, like, you know, like, without risk, there's no reward and shit. So it's like, bro, like, I can keep being content and happy at the crib, but that's not gonna fucking drive me anywhere, because it's like, oh, if I order all this collection and I don't sell anything, which doesn't matter, because it's just, you know what I
It's
mean?
just
Like,
gonna
there's
sit
no
around.
risk.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no overheads, no nothing, bro. So I was like, bro, how am I gonna actually like go to the next level shit? I was just like, man, I gotta take that risk, bro. And like, fucking, you know, all this knowledge and shit I grew from over the like, last couple of years, it's like, bro, like, if I have overheads in my head, that means I have to meet them overheads.
You got no choice but to fight for that money
Exactly,
to
you
pay
know
it
what I mean?
out.
It's
Yeah.
like, I'm not a lazy cunt anymore. If I got overheads and all this bullshit going on and shit, and I actually gotta fucking live, it's like, bro, you gotta do by any means necessary.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do to get.
So
you know
it
what
just
I mean?
takes hustle from here
Exactly.
up to here,
So it's
no
like,
matter
bro,
what.
how do you jump from level 1 to level 2? You take that jump, and if you miss, you're back at level 1.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to my parents about it, and they always told me, it's like, look, if it fails, you can come back home, you're straight.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's right, bro. Like, if I fail, what's the worst thing that can happen? I'll start at square one again. And
Where you were anyway.
Exactly. So that's like always been my mentality, bro, where it's like, all right, cool. I'm going to try to give this a crack, and if I fucking miss, then I'm back where I started. So it doesn't matter. I just got to find another way to get there, you know?
So where did those 2 pallets go, bro?
Fucking in the gallery.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like they went to like, I had a spare bedroom at the crib.
Yeah.
And I remember having like maybe 1 shelf or 2 shelves and just all these boxes everywhere. You couldn't even move. And like, I was thinking like, fuck, I'm the don. I'm the fucking man.
I mean, look at this stock, bro.
You know what I
Bricks
mean?
on bricks.
Yeah, but I
Come
was
on,
like,
bro.
fuck, I'm the man right now, blah, blah, blah. And like from there, like, I was like, fuck, I need to find this space. And I found this space on Facebook Marketplace. And my landlord's a sick cunt, so like, it was a calm. But then like, yeah, bro, like,
How long did it take you to move those 2 pallets worth of stock? Well, what was the marketing process to get it out?
man, I just showed like a crazy lookbook with the
Alright.
E30.
Yeah.
And then fucking, I was just like shooting people, blah, blah, blah. And I think at that point, like in the brand and shit, I just started to like understand who I was, what I'm about, and what I represent and shit. So it's kind of like easier to kind of fucking understand what I'm doing now, you know? Before, like, obviously, early days of everything you do, you're not sure who you are. You're kind of just learning. And even to this day, I'm still learning and figuring out shit, but it's like you have a better understanding of what it is, you know what I mean?
What's crazy to me is you're still young, man.
Yeah.
Like the brands, you said you started at 15, 16, 17.
Yeah.
It's only a few years later, bro.
Yeah,
and like
bro.
where I've seen you come in this last few years is ridiculous that people are still trying to even slightly get to 28, 30, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So you're
bro.
years ahead of these other brands.
Yeah,
Not
bro.
even other brands, just any industry. It doesn't matter if it's brands, music, all of that.
Yeah.
So you've been hustling since young. That's the main thing, bro.
100, bro.
And like you said, the risk has obviously worked.
100, bro.
And now you're here.
Well, that's what you gotta do in life, bro, is just, you just gotta fucking take risks and shit, because it's like, think of it like this, you know, like, when you're content, you're in a safe zone, you don't really give a fuck, you don't wanna, you're more than happy to do this, do that, because you're happy, you know what I mean, you're safe.
Yeah.
But you're not growing because you're stuck here. Whereas if you're fucking unsure of the unknown, blah, 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 you're traveling, you're figuring out shit because you're in the unknown, eventually that shit's gonna become the known. So you've already leveled up, and then you just gotta keep continuing the process. So you make the known fucking, the unknown the known.
100%, bro.
And you keep doing the same shit. Eventually, bro, you're growing, you know what I mean?
Without
so it's
a
like,
doubt.
bro, like,
What do you think is like your first standout piece? What one do you look back at and you're proud of, bro?
honestly, bro, like that fucking first ever camo tracksuit I've ever made in my life. Because it's like, bro, I didn't know shit about anything. I didn't know anything about, but I still took that risk. I said, fuck it. You know what I mean? And to me, that's balls, because it's like, bro, imagine you're 17, you just spend 3 racks on some shit you don't even know nothing about, because you just believe you can turn 2 into 4, 4 into more, you know?
100%.
So it's like, bro, that was probably like the most proudest achievement, because it's like, I really took that risk and I betted against myself for the first time, you know? And then from there, it's like, you just got to continue the process, and you just got to put your money where your mouth is, or put pride, ego, whatever where your mouth is, and just fucking bet against yourself and prove yourself wrong that you can do shit, you know?
Without a doubt,
So
bro.
that was like probably like my most proudest achievement, like even stepping into that zone and being like, yeah, this is
I've done this.
You know what I mean?
What do you think, what do you know now? Like you said, you're starting to know yourself, you're starting to know the brand. What is it that inspires the message behind the brand you put out now?
It's just
Like,
like,
what do you think? Yeah, it draws inspiration to everything you do, bro.
I think it's more in terms of like, just fuck the industry, bro. Like, like not conforming to what these cunts do, not copying someone else's blueprint, not doing this, not doing that. Like, doing it for yourself and doing it the way you want without caring what he says, she say, you know what I mean? Whatever anyone says, whatever, just play, make your own blueprint and shit. Like, life is yours, this world is yours, you do what you want, not listening to what your fucking boss has to say, not what your mom, sister, missus, partner, whatever has to say, you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, like, just making the world yours and doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, bro, like, I could die in the next 10 minutes. I could die right now. I could die on camera right now, you know what I mean? And knock on wood, that shit happens, but like, would I want to live with regret, or would I want to do, and if I'm
You want to be proud
deathbed,
of what you've left
you know
behind,
what I mean?
that legacy shit.
Exactly. If I'm at my
Amen.
deathbed and shit, like, I want to be happy and knowing, like, I took everything I wanted to do. I did all the risk. I did everything I wanted to do, and I made it happen, bro. You know what I mean? And that's like, instead of fucking being like, I should've, would've, could've, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Well, going into the next thing that everyone really wants to talk about, how did you make some of these connects, bro? So let's be serious. The main thing you've done as of late, the Corteiz drop, bro.
Yeah.
The Corteiz link up was massive, not only here, spread around to the UK, obviously. Videos going crazy overseas. You did Sydney, you did Melbourne, crowds coming in hundreds. I was there personally watching these cunts run and run and run, bro. You just come back, a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
New Zealand, Wellington, and Auckland. Where did the first link up between you and Corteiz come from?
But I think I like first came across that guy when I went to London in like 2018. When did COVID happen? 2019?
I think 2019, yeah?
Yeah, 2019.
Or
So like
early 2020, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. It was like a year before COVID happened, and I went to London and USA and shit, and like I was kicking it and pecking with the homies, blah blah blah. And I met like one of the homies that, fucking knew these cunts, blah blah blah, and like I saw them online and shit, so I kept in touch with like his surrounding circle, because like ended up just like liking each other's shit,
Yeah.
fucking with what they're doing, they fucked with what I was doing, so we just kept in touch. But we never had like big talks. It was like, just what up, sick cunt, da da da. And then I saw them at this thing called Notting Hill Carnival, and I remember just seeing this cunt. I was like thinking, fuck, so that's the cunt, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like we like briefly said what's up, because I was with my mate that painted his warehouse or whatever back in the day. And then yeah, like fucking maybe a couple months later, fucking came across his Instagram, followed him, he followed me back. We just always reply to each other's story like, yeah, sick cunt, what are you doing, da da da, you know, like small talk and shit.
Yeah.
And then the way that actually like came down and shit, like obviously like bro, early days of the brand, seeing what he was doing and shit, I was like, wow, big props, you know, sick cunt, he's doing it, you know.
Creating a ruckus himself.
Exactly, bro,
for
you know what I mean? And I was like, not gonna lie, like, yeah, that guy fucking is a mad cunt. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Not gonna downplay him, he's a fucking G, bro. He, you know, he's paved his way, da da da. And like, he would reply to my stories, I'd reply to his, da da da. And then fucking from there, bro, like maybe a couple months just before they came here, he's like, yo, thinking about coming to Melbourne or Sydney, where you from? And like, yeah, from there, the rest was raps. Fucking, he messaged me like a day later, or a day before he came, or 2 days before he came, and he was like, yo, coming to Melbourne, can we get some shirts made? And I was like, yeah, fucking earth, let's do it. So then I got shirts made in like less than 48 hours, and I was like, it was kind of weird because everything was like perfect because of like the whole, prior to that, I did Skin on Skin and Bone Soda's merch as well for their tour.
Okay,
And I
yeah.
made that shit in 24 hours, so like after I did that shit in 24 hours, I just knew, bro,
You can do it, the turnaround time.
yeah, I think we did like 150 units for the Skin on Skin shit, whatever. And then for the Corteiz extruded shit, we did like 350, 400 tees, whatever, in less than like 48 hours.
That's crazy,
With my
man.
screen printers, and it was a crazy stressful time because everything had to be precise. But like, yeah, he just messaged me like 2 days before. He's like, yeah, I'm coming. I booked my flight. I'll be there Thursday or whatever it was.
Were you 100% certain these were going to be ready to go at that time? Like you knew, without a doubt? Because in that turnaround time,
Nah.
what if you got here and there's nothing, and then you're like, oh, fuck, I let this guy down, bro.
That's the thing, bro. That's the risk, bro.
Oh, there you go, all right.
You know what I
That's
mean?
the
Like,
risk.
I was like 75, 80% sure it was gonna happen, but at the same time, it's like due to stock reasons,
Yeah.
it was stressful. I remember just walking. I'm like, fuck, how am I gonna get all these t-shirts? Hit up my screen printers, like, we can try, not guaranteed though. And I was like, fuck. Do I fly down to Sydney or do I drive down to Sydney, pick up all the stock from the warehouse? Because shipping, that was like the fuck thing. Because old style gear and you fucking suck at shipping. You know what I mean? You guys never fucking do anything right. Always delayed. So like, I was like, fuck. If I order it, will it even come in time? Even if I do overnight express? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. So I was considering driving down 14 hours or however long it is to get to fucking Sydney. You know what I mean? Just to make sure it happens and shit. But ended up just making it
Worked
work,
out,
bro.
bro.
Yeah.
But look, the Corteiz shit was iconic down here, the Corteiz Judah thing. So to see that link, I haven't seen him do a lot of collabs.
No, I don't think he barely works with anyone, bro. So it was like, it was kind of dope, bro. Like, fuck, he's just a mad cunt. I think it was like mutual. It made sense, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he does what he does. He doesn't sell out. He doesn't fuck with this shit. Doesn't fuck with that shit. And those are the same, like, traits and beliefs I have. So it just made sense, you know? It wasn't forced, bro, you know? Like, you know how cunts, like, fucking try to work with, like, corporate cunts or they're like, yo, you're doing cool shit. Let's work together. But, like, don't even know each other like that type
100%.
shit. Like,
Or they don't have a similar alignment at all. Like,
it doesn't
that
make
doesn't
sense, bro, you know?
yeah.
And, like, at the end of the day, that's where, like, the whole corporate world come into it because cunts that are corporate as fuck just always like capitalizing and fucking taking advantage of certain moments and shit. And it's like, bro, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Why are you trying to force it? Why are you trying to take this from that? Blah, blah, blah. Like, it's fucking weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, without a doubt, bro.
So it just made sense.
What did you know when you were doing Melbourne that you were gonna then pop out in Sydney?
Kind of.
Was
Like,
that just
not
a
really.
maybe?
It
And
was
how
like-
did you get the word out, bro? Was it just straight off your pages? Like, what? The hype was just there, bro. I saw the hundreds of kids running, man. That was like, I don't think anyone else here has seen anything like that down under.
Bro, that shit was fucking, like I said, bro, that shit was like, because I've done it here and there before, but not at that scale, you know?
Yeah,
like, I used to do pop-ups, pull up to this location, I'm here for 20 minutes, come by whatever you can, da-da-da. And like fucking, but it was never on like a massive, massive scale like that, you know? And like, I've done a couple of shit like that in the past, but just like I said, not on that scale. So like, the way I got word around was just like, I told all the homies, but I didn't tell them where the location was. I just said like, yo, this shit's going down. I need the whole areas. I need everyone from any area that to ride with this, like, you know what I mean? And I wasn't begging or anything, but it's just like, bro, like, if you know what's up for the culture, bro, like, you know what's up type shit, you know what I mean?
Without a doubt. And that's it. I saw cultural artists, figures, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
bro.
Not, I wouldn't call them influencers, but people that are around the culture. You know,
Yeah,
time
bro.
and time, they're all tapped in. They're all down there, you know,
Exactly,
front and
bro.
center.
So then it was just like all the homies helping me out, fucking, you know what I mean? From there, like, I hit up all the homies like, yo, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this, we need to do that. Get this shit organized, da-da-da. This shit is like real, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then we got that organized and then we fucking, like, he's like, I was already gonna go to Sydney anyways for a pop-up store. And then he was like, yo, would you come to Sydney with me? I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, let's do it. I'm like, yeah, sweet. So then he booked me a flight the day before I even had to go to Sydney just to make sure it happened. And it was calm, bro. So like, we just kind of just winged it in Sydney. Shout out to like, you know, Youth and all them boys, you know, Reese and all that shit for helping me out and shit. They fucking came through, they picked us up, they showed us good hospitality and shit. Yeah, and they're fucking showing me around and shit, because they're the homies anyways and shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they really did come through for that one as well, like, with locations and just making sure everything was patterned down.
That
like,
spot worked
proper.
perfectly, bro.
You know what I mean? And
Right.
the reason why, like, I low-key wanted to go there as well, just to make a fucking statement, bro, like, you know? Just to let all these fucking other big dogs, whatever, like, Supply, all them cunts, you know? Like, let them know what's up, bro, like, just because I'm not at that, I don't fuck with the corporate world and shit, you better know who I am type shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, by that whole saying, by any means necessary, you know? No risk, no reward type shit, where it's like, bro, like, you just gotta fucking do it.
And I think the reward out of that is, bro, the hype is beyond, bro. Like I said, I hate not just myself, people calling it an iconic moment. And I think we'll go down in streetwear history down under.
100, bro. Like, I think, like, it's just what Australia needed, bro. Like, over the last couple of years and shit, we're just like, it's just annoying, bro. Like, Australian culture is just weird.
That's what I was going to say. What do you think the Australian, I don't know, maybe the culture, maybe the streetwear culture is missing down here, bro?
It's like, bro, everyone's just chameleons, man. Like, everyone wants to copy this person. Everyone wants to copy that person. You know, every cunt has a smiley face on their shit. Every cunt has, like, a brain dead aesthetic to their clothes, whatever. It's like, there's no story. There's no nothing, bro. Like, it's like they're making a brand off someone else's perception of life, you know? And that's like, as what you're doing and shit, not even just for the brand, as you are as a person, everything you do should be out of your perspective, because this is, you know, your life, your world, this is your time. So if you try to copy someone else's blueprint, that blueprint only works for that cunt over there, because that's what happened for their time, for them in their circumstances, everything like that. And all these cunts try to copy everyone else's shit, do this, do that, and it just looks ridiculous, because it's like, bro,
That's not you.
yeah, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like, even for me to, like, properly wear Supreme, like, ride or die for that shit, no, really doesn't make sense for me, because it's like, bro, when have we ever had Supreme in Australia? You know what I mean? Like, it was never really a part of our culture like
No,
that.
we
Like,
just
maybe
caught
it
on to
was,
the hype.
you know what I mean?
Logically, we caught on to the hype.
And it's like, shit like that, bro, like, there's not really any, like, we're not gonna look up to Guy Sebastian, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, Angels brought me here.
Yeah.
Banger though, all right?
Bro,
But
bro,
yeah, I get what you're
you know
saying,
what I mean?
100%.
Like, fucking, when I was little, I loved that cunt as well, you know? Like, I had his CD and shit, but like, I was a massive fan, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
bro?
we
Like,
need people here that the younger generation are going to look up to and want to fight for and
exactly,
start their
bro.
own thing.
And it's like, bro, obviously coming from like the areas and shit, growing up in a caravan park as well, blah, 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 like, there wasn't really much going on for us, you know? Like, we had people like in certain pockets doing their thing, and even now, like, bro, there's heaps of cunts doing their thing, and congrats to them and shit, but it's like, bro, like, we're still playing fucking, all these cunts are still playing chess with the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, with the corporate world, the industry and shit, and they're getting finessed. Where it's like, bro, like, we should be fucking, you know, calling the shots. We should be telling all these other cunts like, yo, you do this. For me, that's it.
You're the one creating the community around
Exactly,
it, yeah,
bro.
without
And
a
like,
doubt.
instead, everyone in the show is just getting finessed because everyone's too fucking blind and hungry for whatever, you know? They're just fucking selling out real quick because they want to get to the top, but they're doing it in the wrong way, you know? And that's the whole problem that I see is like, bro, like, everyone's just getting finessed, bro, and they're like too dumb or too hungry or too excited to see it, you know what I mean? And then later down the line, they realized, fuck, I got finessed.
Without a doubt.
You know what I mean?
This shit's inspiring to hear, bro. I'm telling you, I hope people listen back and hear this shit and want to, you know, take it into their own hands, you know?
Honestly, bro, because like I said, bro, the world is your oyster. You're the one supposed to be calling the shots, bro. Like, you know, like, for example, if someone hit me up and said, I want you to do this, I'm going to pay you money, like, you know, fucking paint a perfect picture for me. And you're not asking questions and you're like, what can't, like, really? You know what I mean? Like, then you're dumb, bro. You just sold yourself real quick for a quick bag, for quick fame, but like, that shit's whack, bro. Like, I don't know, bro.
Nah, totally fair, bro. Well, bro, look, you said you want to show me some area drinks out here, bro. Something real delicious.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, does it mind if we go for a little walk real quick?
100, bro.
All right,
Let's do
bro,
it.
let's do it. Is this your actual area or you just come around here?
No, bro, I went to school over there.
Around here?
Yeah. It's called Heaven's Park, right across from there. And there's like a really nice restaurant there called Pavilion.
What kind of food are we talking?
Bro, like Palmer's, like really nice pastas, pizzas.
Palmer's, bro. Palmy. Come on.
Palmy.
Palmy, bro.
Parmigiana.
Come on. You feel me? It's Palmy. Everyone watching. It's
Chicken Palmer.
Palmy. Come on, bro.
The mango tree.
It smells delicious out here, bro.
Yeah, this is culture.
He's got it.
Arga juice.
That's what we're coming for, bro. We're coming for that juice.
Arga juice. No
I'm
way.
waiting for this, bro. Hey, people show out for Arga juice.
Yeah, bro.
It's packed up in here. Let's wait on these end results, but I heard a lot about this shit.
You have to get a pistachio blueberry mix or some fresh sugarcane juice. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a Judas sticker here. You've been here before, I see.
What does that one say?
Judah.
Yeah, I've been here.
Judah.
Oh, yeah, I've been here, mate.
Take flight delivery, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, take that stuff, bro. Get it in.
This is
We
good.
gotta mix it.
Yeah. You gotta mix it all as well.
I'm gonna give that first try taste test right now.
Is there Argo juice in Sydney? No.
Maybe, but I've never been. If it is, bro,
You should open a franchise of it. That's bread and butter.
this is trifle. Have you ever had Christmas trifle? No fruit and shit, nah.
No.
Shout out to my mum real quick, bro. It's just cake, alcohol, jam, jelly.
Oh my
This
God.
is exactly what it tastes like, bro. While we're out here, bro, area-wise, you had your whole areas collection, huh?
Yeah.
HP Boyz involved in that one?
You welcome to the areas. That was like the
The areas one, that was that one.
Yeah.
How did the link come about with them boys, bro?
I grew up with them, bro. Like fucking, I was like, so their grandma or auntie, I can't remember, but she used to babysit me. So when I lived in Hampton Park, I used to just get babysit over there. And then HP on it, he was in this thing called, and that was one of the gangs. And like I was probably young as going to these parties. If you're from the areas, you know about Clicks parties, you know, Clicks photography and everything like that, you know. And fucking, they used to go to them parties and like I just always see all these cunts, and then I started hanging out with them boys. And like that, I was like the young ass, like 15 fat little chubby kid that everyone just looked after, you know, like that was a sick kind of, you know what I mean, just working and shit. And everyone just looked out for me, and like that's how I knew them. And then fucking, yeah, bro, just always
connect from way back, that's
yeah,
it.
my mum's been friends with all their aunties and mums for young.
So everyone just grew together, really.
we
They've
just
been
all grew
doing
up
good
with,
for
like,
themselves,
together and shit, you know
man.
what I mean? So it was like that. Even fucking grew up with like Melbourne and all his like people, like they used to have like this dance crew called KBK.
Yeah, yeah. You still talk to all the boys now? Is it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
fuck
more
yeah.
like friends kind of
Yeah.
thing, you know what I mean? All right, man.
Like, you know, like.
Are there any other artists since, you know, going hard in this world that you've really connected with via the clothing?
Yeah, probably like Germ.
Yeah.
But he's not from Australia. He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, no, that's...
Is that what you mean, Australia? or
Bro,
international?
anywhere.
Like, yeah, probably Germ, fucking, that's like my boy, like, he's
I think I saw you on live with him the other day,
he's
bro.
a mad cunt, bro, like, he's actually a mad cunt, like, taking me in, taught me a lot. Snobs, he's a fucking G. I've worked with, like, I'm really close with Reggie Snow.
Yeah.
On, like, a personal level, him.
You had Central Cee wearing your shit on stage.
Yeah.
Who's down here. Was
Yeah.
that a connect through Corteiz link, or you already have that?
No, that was basically through him, man, like, fucking, so, like, I made friends with one of Central's team members, Wads, and like we've been, you know, like talking here. I've never met him personally, but we've been talking here and there, you know. And then fucking, it kind of just made sense, like, you know, became mates with Clint, whatever.
Yeah.
Did all that shit, blah blah blah. And then like just being around Clint, fucking, you know. Then I met the other team members and stuff, and just being around them and shit. I was just like, yo, you trying to get some shit or what?
Yeah, without
And then
doubt.
I asked Walid, who's like, he's a fucking hectic videographer, hectic photographer. He's just a genius cunt, bro. He's a mad cunt. And he's like, he's probably like, when I meet a lot of cunts, bro, like a lot of famous people or whatever you want to call them, people that are actually doing shit,
Yeah.
some of their team members are fucking dickheads. Their dickheads are real cocky, ego, blah, blah, blah. But all these cunts are just mad cunts, bro. Like, they're just like real nice and shit, you know what I mean? And like, I really fucked with him, bro. So like, yeah, gee, like fucking da-da-da. And then, yeah, bro, like fucking, he was like, yeah, sweet. Drop off some shit. And I was like, cool. And then like, obviously, bro, you know how cunts like send shit to like, cunts that are doing shit, whatever.
Of course,
it's like 50-50.
if they're gonna get it on or not.
You know what I mean? That was kind of what it was. I'm like, nah, fuck it. Who cares, bro? Like, if he knows about it, it's guerrilla marketing, bro. He's gonna see it a million more times, and it's just gonna click eventually.
Sits in your head, bro.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. Blessed him with some shit, and then after that, bro, like fucking, yeah, he just ended up wearing it on stage.
Bro, that was first of all, hard fit. Bro, that was hard.
When I
And
saw that shit
what
on
better
stage-
spot could you have it? There was like, I was scrolling through TikTok the day after Listen Out. All I saw, white Judah, white
Bro,
Judah
you
fit.
know what's fucked as well? I didn't even know about it. I just get a text message from someone with a screenshot like, yo, look. I'm like, no fucking way. So then I text like Clint, and I was like, yo, bro, fucking, show me them photos, come.
Yeah,
And
100%.
then he was like, what did he say? He was like, bro, I've been waiting for you to text me that I already had these. And I was like, fuck, sick cunt. And then he sent it to me, I was like, bro.
Good link, bro.
You know what I
Good
mean?
link.
And usually I don't really post that type of shit because I don't really give a fuck about any of that shit. But I was just like, bro, that is a crazy ass video.
100%, bro. That's a cosign and a half, bro. At the time, especially. Bro.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know, bro. I feel like when you're at that stage in life, bro, like you're really up the pioneer type shit.
Yeah.
You don't give a fuck what cunts give you or whatever. It's like, bro. So it's like he must have liked it, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
But then we like met him properly, and like I met him like briefly in Melbourne, then talked to him properly in Sydney. He's a mad cunt, bro. Like, chiller, you know, like good people, bro.
That's it, bro.
Fucking yeah, bro.
That's it. Well, bro, we're from here, man. What's your fucking? What are we doing next, bro? Where are we gonna see Judah in the next year?
Fucking probably just overseas, bro.
Yeah, next.
I think that's like my next goal is like kind of done with Australia. Like I feel like realistically, bro, like I don't know, bro. Not outgrown it. I haven't outgrown Australia. There's so much more to do, but like it's more in terms of my own growth and shit, of like what I'm trying to achieve with the worldwide tribe and shit, and like trying to showcase all the areas in the world. Doesn't matter if you're from Melbourne, Sydney, fucking London, Paris, Philippines, whatever. I want to showcase all the areas and everything like that in my perspective, you know. So it's like I still got so much shit to do, but that's probably like my next chapter with the brand, is like kind of branching out more international into more international orders and shit, and like fucking really making it there, you know, like not making it, but like just fucking doing cool shit over there, you know?
Cool shit while you can, bro. No risk, no reward, bro. That's
Exactly,
the one.
bro. And it's like I'm still young, bro. Like 22, fucking. And what's the worst
22
thing
is so young to do what you're doing, man.
Exactly,
I'm telling
bro.
you.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, what's the worst thing that could happen? You know, like nothing really pops off, whatever. Like, I'm not really tripping, bro. Because at the end of the day, I fucking did it, you know?
Yeah, without doubt.
And it's like I'm not trying to prove it to you, them, or whoever. It's like, bro, like as long as I know I did it to my best of my abilities, and I'm a proud man, you know, like. Doesn't matter the outcome or whatever. So it's like, that's just my next goal.
Nah, I love it, bro. Well, on that fucking note, bro, we're gonna leave it there, man. I appreciate you having us through, bro.
Link up.